A very beautiful morning to you and welcome to Crossfire on Odala 104.7 FM on Nature. This very beautiful Saturday morning, the 9th day in the month of May in the year 2026. Wherever you are listening to us, you say that a program like this is a convergence of minds, not just politically conscious minds, but those who are everly conscious of developments around their vicinities and beyond, those who want to know more and why things are happening and reasons behind those happenings. You're welcome. Remember, this very platform, we speak the truth, we uphold the truth, we preserve the truth, we call a spade, and we can never call a spade by any other name. That's my reason. We do say not this are veritas, not this are Judisim veritas, and not this are Vivica Kabit veritas, and not this are Lingolum, and not this are contra Lingolum. You are welcome. And there are many of our brothers who are listening to us from different parts of the continent, from the web. There are those who are listening to us from Japan. It's about 8 minutes down the hour of 5 p.m. in Japan. And those who are listening to us from China, it's about 8 minutes down the hour of 4 p.m. down there in China. For those who are listening to us from South Africa, where we are having xenophobic attacks and repression of Nigerians living over there. It's about 8 minutes than the hour of 10 a.m. in South Africa. And for those who are listening to us from Italy, Germany, France, and Brazil as well, and those who are listening from India, and those who are listening from London, it's about 9 minutes than the hour of 9 a.m. in London. Germany, 9 minutes than the hour of 10 a.m. in Germany. Those who are listening to us from Accra, Ghana, it's 9 minutes than the hour of 8 a.m. over there in Accra, Ghana. From India, 39 minutes than the hour of 1 p.m. in India. For those who are listening to us from Jerusalem, Holy City, 9 minutes than the hour of 11 a.m. over there. We welcome every one of you to this epochal convergence, epochal gathering of minds. And we are going to do justice to your time. And this time will be worthwhile, a time you will always have value for, because what we do is to give you value for your time, and that's what we do here. You're welcome. My name is Tony Olisan Becky, the Honorable Speaker, and we have a guest this very morning. We'll be exploring a lot of political developments in the polity. The quest for the governor of Imo State to be the Senate president is no more hidden. It's everywhere. Can he pursue that? Can he go for that? Can Ababio stand on his way? And that resulted in what we saw during the plenary, where Oshomole said, you cannot climb through this ladder and bring the ladder down so that others will not also climb through. Why would you say that is for a senator to contest for Senate presidency, he must have served 2 consecutive terms? Did you serve the 2 consecutive terms? You cannot approbate and reprobate at the same time. We're going to look at some of these dynamics, the political dynamics behind all these things. And we're also going to talk about the NDC and statements credited. There is this flood of defection hitting ADC. Is everything wrong with ADC? Is ADC dead on arrival? What is going on? I mean, the whole brouhaha associated with ADC seems to be fizzling out, but we're going to talk about that and other things we deem necessary. Atiku Abubakar, who has left the country, I don't know if he has left or about to leave the country, where he said he's going to champion a lot of rots going on in the country before some congressmen in the United States of America. What is Atiku up to? And many are saying it's better for you to just retire from politics. And look at Goodluck Jonathan, saying he will consult widely to see if he can contest when some groups came to his house to urge him to contest. And many more we're going to look at this very morning. And joining me to talk about this, we have in our studio Barrister Chioma Ejumaro, former member of the State House of Assembly, one-time chairman, House Committee on Judiciary, and also a legal practitioner and a public affairs analyst and commentator. It's my pleasure to welcome you, Honorable Barrister Chioma Ejumaro. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Tony Olisan Becky. Good morning, our listeners. Thank you for having me once again.
You're welcome. Let's quickly serve the political roundup stories. When we are done with that, we are going to come back to the business of the day. We'll be right back. Do not just go anywhere. We'll be right back. Let's begin with this very first story that says an attempt by some state governors of the All Progressives Congress APC to remove their Imo State counterpart Hope Uzodimma as chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum PGF has hit the rocks. This follows the intervention of President Bola Tinubu in the disagreement that triggered the revolt against Uzodimma. A federal high court in Abuja on Friday granted an indefinite adjournment in a suit filed by an aggrieved chieftain of the African Democratic Congress ADC Nafiu Balagombe, challenging the legitimacy of the David Mark-led leadership of the party. Justice Emeka Mwite took the decision in a ruling after taking arguments from lawyers to the parties in the suits that has been adjourned indefinitely. The faction of the People's Democratic Party, aligned with Kabiru Turaki, has challenged the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, to carry out his threat of shutting down its operational office. This follows remarks made by Wike during his monthly media briefing earlier this week, where he questioned the legitimacy of the Turaki-led faction and demanded that the group operate openly if it truly existed. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency has issued a warning that 19 states across the country may experience flash flooding in the coming days due to expected heavy early rains. In an advance release on Friday, NIMET explained that the flooding risk is heightened because dry and hardened soils will prevent water from soaking properly into the ground, leading to increased surface runoff. Tragedy struck in Maiduguri after Police Inspector Abdul Kadri Garuba was struck to death by lightning opposite the headquarters of the Borno State Police Command. The deceased officer, popularly known as Brutai, was reportedly coordinating vehicle parking alongside his senior colleague, ASP Wazani Adamu, when the incident occurred at about 2:19 p.m. It was something surprising when you tell someone thunder fire you, what could that be? But remember, the work is done by the lightning, not necessarily thunder. The lightning that accompanies thunder, that's what actually strikes, not the thunder itself. For the second time in less than 2 weeks, about 7 armed hoodlums in the early hours of Friday invaded hotels occupied by students of the College of Engineering Olabisi on Onabanjo University, Ibogun campus, and the government were said to have shot sporadically before dispossessing the students of their valuables, including a car and several mobile phones. Intensified joint security operations against banditry in Katsina State have resulted in the killing of 5 suspected bandits and the rescue of 32 kidnapped victims. The State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Dr. Nasiri Muazo, disclosed this in a statement made available to newsmen in Katsina State. Loyalists of former Kano State Governor Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar have thrown their weight behind former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi ahead of the 2027 general election. The endorsement was announced on Friday in Abuja during a coalition meeting attended by members of the Obedient Movement, Kwankwasiya Movement, and the coalition of Atiku support group initiatives. The Nigeria Labour Congress has called on the Congress of South African Trade Unions to lead a mass sensitization campaign across South African communities to combat xenophobia and protect migrant workers. In a letter dated 7th May 2026 and addressed to the president of the COSATU in Johannesburg, NLC President Joe Ajero warned that South Africa could not claim to defend the working class while allowing African migrants to be hunted and killed. And finally, the defense headquarters says troops have neutralized scores of terrorists, arrested dozens of criminal suspects, and rescued over 50 kidnapped victims in nationwide operations between April 30th and May 7th. The director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Michael Onoja, disclosed this in a statement on ongoing military operations across various theaters on Friday in Abuja. And those here were here news making headlines and also here political roundup stories. We now move straight to the business of the day. Of the reception setting. Thanks for joining us once again on Crossfire on Udalo 104.7 FM. And just as we said earlier on, we have to begin with the business of the day. We are going to talk about the political alignment and realignment ahead of 2027 election. Where is Southeast in this political equation of the country? And if you look around, you will understand that after the return to democratic government, I'm talking about Second Republic, Southeast was prime in its quest as far as political equation is concerned. Southeast produced likes of Elise Kweme as the vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But from 1979 down to 2026, when it comes to leadership equation in this country, Southeast is left with deputy speaker from the position of vice president, which it has not surpassed. It has moved down to the position of deputy speaker. It seems that it went to the bottom and is coming back. Remember, during the time of Buhari presidency, Southeast had nothing in leadership equation. But under Tinubu, it was given, let me not say a struggle, it was given the deputy speakership position. And now, one man tries to reverse such trend in the person of Hope Uzodimma. But the truth remains that he will leave governorship office sometime January 2028. And if he's to go to the Senate, it means that he will abandon his governorship position for 6 good months in his quest to be the Senate president. Let me begin by asking you, Chioma Ejumaro, barrister, is there anything wrong for Governor Hope Uzodimma to be the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria under the All Progressives Grand Alliance? APC, not ABGA. Is anything wrong with that quest, with such ambition?
Thank you very much, Tony, Olis, and Becky, and thank you, our listeners. I mean, what could be wrong with that? Certainly nothing is wrong with that in a democracy that we have. The only thing is that anybody who wants to become anything must play by the rules. First of all, he must have the ticket of his party to contest for senatorial election in Imo State. That if he's elected and he becomes a member of the National Assembly, in this case Senate, then he has to play the politics of the Senate to be elected by senators as their president. If that is done, of course, I mean, he is well off as the Senate president. Nothing stops him. He is qualified by age. He is qualified because he's a citizen of Nigeria. And another thing, he belongs to a political party then this is the era of people are junketing, people are playing politics to secure their party tickets. If he succeeds in securing the party ticket of the ticket of his party, and he wins, and he has to scale the next hurdle by winning the election. If that happens, and he gets to the Senate on the day of inauguration of the Senate, which could be sometime in June 2027, if his colleagues, his fellow senators elect, considers it right, then, and if he puts himself for election and he's elected as the Senate President, of course he will well be Senate President of the 11th Senate. Nothing stops him.
Are you not seeing the imbroglio? Are you not seeing this impasse where he's still a serving governor? It has not happened in our political history where a serving governor abandons such position, even when we know it's going to expire in 6 months' time, to push to become the Senate President. We have not seen that before. Don't they see that as anomaly or anomaly? Don't you see that?
No. What is anomalous about that? The Constitution is very clear. One of the circumstances by which anybody could lose, particularly a governor in this case, could cease to be a governor is if he is impeached, if he dies, if he resigns as a governor, or if he becomes the president or a senator, because he cannot be a senator and a governor at the same time. It's not possible. So one must give for the other. So if he chooses to relinquish his position as a governor, of course, which means on taking the oath of office as a senator, he automatically ceases to be the governor of Imo State. So that is the constitutional provision, because he cannot be a senator and a governor at the same time, or he cannot be a senator, a legislator and a commissioner at the same time. It doesn't happen. So the only what he needs to do is that before he takes the office of a senator, because before his inauguration as a senator, he must have resigned his position as a governor, or at best, as soon as he takes the position of the oath of office of a senator, he's deemed to have resigned his position as a governor. So either of these will happen, because it's not constitutionally possible for him to be a senator and a governor at the same time. And let me add, the fact that it hasn't happened before doesn't mean that they don't have constitutional freedom for one to move from being a governor to a senator, and even eventually to become a Senate President. So tell you, Hope Uzodimma so far has not done anything against the Constitution of Nigeria, if in fact he wants to be a senator.
Well, let's quickly look at what played out at the submission of the form of the president, because we saw that many people are reading meaning into that. It was on May 8th, shortly after the President Tinubu's nomination form submission. There was this allegation that there are those who want him out as the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, and those who are peddling this rumor said that a camp led by the governor of Ogun State, Abuja, was actually pushing for a change, and they had settled for Peter Mba of Enugu State as a replacement to Hope Uzodimma as the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum. But we also got this report that Mr. President intervened and halted such. What were their allegations? From the report we gathered, they were alleging loss of confidence and high-handedness on the part of Hope Uzodimma. Loss of confidence and high-handedness, and that was why they wanted him out. Some felt that it was a case where Abuja is behind the whole process to whittle down his influence and power as a race for Senate presidency of the 11th Senate, not even contested or inaugurated, hitch up This is the first time we are hearing that race for Senate presidency has just started. Even when forms have not been submitted, election has not even held. We don't even know those who have won election or not. With the Senate have not even been inaugurated, or they plan to inaugurate the 11th Senate, whether it is underway. But people are actually playing a lot of fast politics to see to that. But Hope Uzodimma, of course, we saw how he asked the deputy to resign, and people said why the deputy resign was to prepare a grant for somebody who will hold that very position in trust for him as he migrates to the Senate to bid for Senate presidency. And I asked again, why are politicians so quick to make some political arithmetics, political calculations? Why are these jostling, and who even told APC they will win majority to the level that they have started perfecting plans on who is going to be the Senate presidency? We saw what happened at the floor where Oshomole challenged Senate President Babio, telling him you cannot change the rule of the Senate where you want to perpetuate yourself in power. That David Mark was Senate President for 8 good years. He did not change the rules. And many who had been the Senate President never changed the rules. Why would you want to change it? Because of somebody, or because you don't want somebody to challenge you? As that was going on, remember Oshomole, he played a lot of role to make Hope Uzodimma the governor of Imo State. Recall Rocha Sokorocha had, as the leader of APC in Imo State, presented the ticket to his son-in-law Nwosu as the APC chairman at that time. Oshomole challenged that and said you cannot hand over to your son-in-law that Imo State is not a family business, it's not a family affairs. He projected hope, even using the man he appointed to go and conduct the primary to ensure that Hope becomes the candidate of the party. And that was how Hope became the candidate of APC. Oshomole saw to it, and Oshomole is now fighting Ababio. Are you not seeing this connectivity between Oshomole and Hope, even when Hope is not talking openly about Oshomole, that most of these things are done by Oshomole? Are you not seeing that? I've asked multiple questions. Why are politicians making fast calculation even when time is not yet, or when time is not due for such? And the connectivity between Oshomole and Hope Uzodimma.
Thank you. Honestly, I have difficulty in addressing these issues. It has nothing to do with the Nigerian people. Absolutely nothing. Of course, that is an indication that should alert our people that governance is not happening at that level, at any level, mostly at that level in Nigeria. And that's an indication that we should do our best to extricate ourselves from the shenanigans of these characters. And from all that progressive, you call it progressive governance forum, what progress have they been able to engineer? What progress have they been able to bring about the life of the people? Can you tell me in specific terms what progressive governance forum has achieved in the last 4 years? I don't know what they do. I don't know what they have not impacted anybody. I'm not aware they have impacted Nigeria.
Dama Abiodun will tell you the work he has done in Ogun State. He built airports. He built so much. Hope will tell you some roads he's doing.
We are dealing with progressive governance forum. I'm not dealing with Dabo Abiodun. Even at that, Dabo Abiodun should first of all tell us how much of Nigerian, how much resources he has been able to get from the federal government. That's the first thing, the accountability. Tell us how much he inherited, tell us how much he has generated, and then tell us how he has deployed those resources to better the life of people of Ogun State. That is how accountability starts. You don't tell me that you build an airport for yourself, for your family, probably in your own, within your own locality, to ease movement for yourself. Why the majority of people of Ogun State are suffering in abject poverty. Of course, we all know Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. We all know that the income per capita in Nigeria is not nothing to write home about. We all know that they say about many Nigerians are living below poverty line, and they are also being pushed down more and more below poverty line based by lack of governance. So why should we even talk about Progressive Governance Forum? It's a forum that exists for the advancement of personal ambition or personal schemes of these characters. That's nothing they do. It's not known to the Constitution of Nigeria. That's nothing like Progressive Governance Forum, but that notwithstanding, people can bind themselves together to do whatever they want. But it is our responsibility to reject them. It's our responsibility to put them to where they belong, gathering of selfish and uncoordinated characters. Of course, from what we've just analyzed, what are they talking about? How to remove this person? They're all angling for positions. How they will either retain their position or move from one position to the other. They're not talking about how they move Nigerians from this law of economic strangulation to a better bring a better progressive nation. That's not what they're talking about. And you're telling me about gospel about what kind of politics is he playing? Are they playing at this stage? The debate is not about how to use the mechanism, the power of the legislature, to anchor development, to bring about improved standard of living for Nigerians. The debate is about, let me do things, let me maneuver, let me manipulate the system so that I will remain the Senate president, or so that nobody else can challenge me in that position. That is what is happening. So why should we be bothered about that? Clearly, that is an indication that should put us on alert that this government is not talking about you. They're all trying to position themselves, from all of them, from what you've seen, from what is being played out in the public domain, amending the rules of the Senate. And I don't know why they bother themselves. You cannot, let me just go that way. Why should you even bother themselves? You amend the rule of the Senate to suit you. You do that ad hominem to suit your ambition, to suit your projection, what you project for your life after 2027. You don't amend the Senate, the rules of the Senate, so that you can do something for the good of the Nigerian people, where the rules are not sufficient to get that done. So you amend the rule of the Senate in such a way that at the end of the day, it will be to your own personal benefit. That, to me, is unacceptable. So let me say that clearly that what Chioma said in that regard is right. It's quite understandable. And let me tell you, the section 50 of the Constitution says that there shall be a Senate President and a Deputy Senate President, which shall be elected among themselves. I don't know if you've read this constitutional provision. And section 60 of the same constitution says the Senate shall have power to make rules, to make rules for its procedure, subject to the provision of this Constitution. The Senate shall have power to regulate its proceedings, either in to regulate proceedings by rules. So that rules that you make must be subject to the provision of the Constitution, which says that the Senate, the Senate President and the Deputy President should be elected by the people among themselves. So you don't now begin to make rules, as to that will be inconsistent with the provisions of the Constitution. That rule that I understand that it's been rescinded, that they made, is clearly inconsistent. But if they say, okay, in order to give room for better leadership, okay, it's not right for you to aspire, except you've done except you are, what do you call it now? You are a senator that has actually done one term. You've been in the Senate before, so at least to give you allow the time to gather some experience, to understand the rules of the Senate and things how to. Okay, but if you then say now, except you are you cannot aspire except you are of the immediate 10th assembly. I mean, what does that mean? I mean, it's only meant to to suit the schemings, the ambition of God's will, and that shows that what they do basically is not in the interest of the Nigerian people.
You think it's not in the best interest of
to advance their own personal interest. You now begin to see, in the next Senate, probably there are going to be some challenges. This person might have interest in becoming the Senate president. This person might have, okay, let me make a rule in such a way that I will prevent them from even aspiring to those positions. From even aspiring to those positions, is that the kind of thing that we should be talking about? The Progressive Governors Forum, clearly, for me, is a total failure. You shouldn't talk about it.
Well, we once had a PDP Governors Forum, and we also have a Governors Forum. It's an association, and of course, they destabilized PDP. Remember, during the days of Jonathan, during the days of Obasanjo, the role they played in ensuring leadership changes at that very level, and we know how powerful these people could be. They forged their interests, and we've seen that from time to time. You are saying, is it because it's APC Governors Progressive Governors Forum, or is it because it's no more PDP? Remember, when you were in PDP as well, such governor forums existed. So why is it not in interest of Nigeria?
Yeah, let me tell you. You see, I was never in the PDP anyway. Let me tell you, during Nigerian Governors Forum used to be a very formidable, powerful pressure group in Nigeria.
Okay.
That engages the federal government with respect to the issues that concern their stakes or the subnational. During the time of Rotimi Amechi, when he was the chairman of Nigerian Governors Forum.
Yes.
Remember during the time of Bukola Saraki, when he was chairman of Nigerian Governors Forum.
Yes.
At that time, we had a Governors Forum that, they came together and they were actually, I remember the issue of oil subs, is it gains made from oil something during the Okonjo-Iweala, where they said, when the Okonjo-Iweala said this money is going to, they said no, that is contrary to the constitution. That this money is meant, it must be paid into the federation account to be distributed in accordance with relevant section of the constitution for development of Nigeria. That what we are suggesting is clearly not unconstitutional. It's clearly unconstitutional.
Yeah. And
they had their way. I remember they went to court for the court to interpret the constitution. So those were times that the Governors Forum, were acting as a pressure group basically but now, when eventually the federal government began to entertain the feelings that are becoming too powerful, and they tried to put them in check during the time of Jonathan. I remember the election during the time of Jonathan when Chibika Amechi.
Yeah, Rotimi
Amechi. There was an attempt to balkanize the Governors Forum using Jonah Jang. Chibika Amechi scored about 16 votes. Jonah Jang scored about, and the Jonathan government proclaimed Jonah Jang as a leader of which was resisted by the majority of the governors then. That was when the federal government began to whittle down the influence, and eventually there is nothing like Governors Forum anymore. It has been completely whittled down. What we call Progressive Governors Forum today is an association that ties to the apron strings of the presidency. Otherwise, why would the presidency? Why would they want to remove the chairman? The presidency will say no, don't do. So these are not, for me. I mean, if they actually have genuine reasons, among themselves to change leadership, why wouldn't they be free to do that? Why would the presidency now, like what happened in Lagos State, where they removed their speaker, the presidency now intervened and said this speaker must be restored, contrary to the actions, to the constitutional powers of the House of Assembly. So that will show you that it's nothing more like people who have bound themselves together to attach themselves to the powers, at the federal level, to be able to seek and get things, attention, favors for their own personal aggrandizement. That is what it's all about.
Well, that's what you think. But let's leave that away from, because we have got so many things to talk about this very morning. And let's talk about the position of Southeast. What have we done to go backward in politics? What is really the problem of Southeast? You are a Southeasterner. You know the point I'm trying to make. From 1979, we were there. Even after independence, we are number one. Post-independence, still number one. before independence, number one, because one of our own was the fact a crusader to ensure Nigerian independence. I'm talking about Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. Post independence, we saw the politics Southeast played, the NCNC and what have you. Then Second Republic, we played the politics. Why are we slacking? Why are we going backward in this game politics? We are playing emotional politics in Southeast, where we expect others to either give us something in gratitude or to dash us power, to serve us power, like that, to serve us position in the spirit of equity, togetherness, inclusivity. That's just what we preach. But we don't play the game. We don't play the politics. Why is it so?
Honestly, I don't subscribe to this idea of talking about Nigeria is in a total mess. What are you talking about? Southeast or south side? Yeah. Nigeria is in a total.
Everybody knows.
If we know
politics, politics.
Politics should be what the politics that you should be playing.
Are you playing politics of conscience? Are you playing politics as a way it should be? Politics of politics.
Nigeria is a total mess. Nigeria is being misgoverned. Nigeria is drifting to the lowest ebb of poverty, whatever you can think of. Our politics should be about placing Nigeria on the map, about progress, about redefining our issues, about greatest number of good, greatest number of people. So all this politics about Nigeria is in a mess, and we are saying it needs to be fixed. You need to have people that has the.
You are speaking as
you don't
as one of the masses.
That is how I'm speaking. You
don't speak like a politician.
Let's hold on. What is politics about? Politician is about playing politics. It's about making effort to get hold of power for the good of the people. So if that's not playing politics. What we just narrated, what we just spoke about antics of Gods Babio and so on and so forth, is that politics? They're not playing politics. What they're doing is they're scrambling for political positions for themselves alone. That is not politics. Politics is played for the advancement of a country, for the advancement of the bringing better life to the majority of the people. And that is clearly stated in the Constitution. So if whatever politics we are playing is about what am I going to get? Then, of course, we continue to wallow in this abysmal poverty. So I do not want to talk about whether the Southeast is doing that. What we should be talking about is how to change, how to bring. So
we have to forget about zoning now.
Which zoning?
We are talking about zoning. The North, of course, we believe.
I'm not dealing with the issue of zoning.
So you want it to be expunged?
What
is a reality?
No, we are not. The question you asked me is not about zoning. That is not what I'm dealing with. We're talking about whether the Southeast or whether So let us progress progressively, and deal with the issues. You've now moved from that zoning. The issue, the pertinent, and I've said this on this program and many other programs, that what is challenge? The challenge we have is challenge of leadership, not challenge of anything about leadership. The challenge of the Nigerian people understanding that there is no leadership. The challenge of Nigerian people making effort or themselves, freeing themselves from the shackles of poverty, from the shackles of oppression that we presently find ourselves. That will be our primary focus. If what it means is that certain people who have shown competencies, whether they are from then we should also follow those people for them to deliver Nigeria from this economic quagmire. It's not a question of, but if the Southeast becomes the next vice president, what does that, and Nigeria stay wallows, what I mean, what is that what I'm talking about? If the Southeast becomes Nigeria's next president, Nigeria, whatever, and in fact those issues, fundamental issues are not addressed, how has that benefited me or the common Nigerian masses? So, now our people are trooping from here to Ghana. South Africa is xenophobia happening in South Africa. Why are they trooping there? The South Africans are saying, let them go to their country and repair their country. Then they go to the country and work and xenophobia. I'm not approving xenophobia, but the basic things that people are living in those because they feel that home is not. They feel that their home is not provided the conducive environment for them to thrive, and they are migrating to many other countries of the world where things at least work better. So why can't we replicate? Why can't we come home and do things better here so that our people, Nigerians, will only travel about when there is not necessarily to seek better life, but if to do some other things of which they need to do. But not in a situation where Nigerians all over the world doing all sorts of management, even in other African countries, because of lack of leadership, because of lack of enlightened followership, because of we are not doing the right thing that we should do in Nigeria. And we're talking about the Southeast and South. I mean, if we continue to argue in that manner, the Southwest will say, the Southwest, why wouldn't they? No, that's not the issue. Everybody is suffering in this country. The Southwest. If a Southeastern, assuming Imo State Governor becomes Senate President, for example, who is our brother from the Southeast, what he's going to do is to make sure that whatever that is brought from the presidency, he approves. It's not about psychopaths. It's not about, it's not about Nigerian people. It's about his own, how to advance his personal life, the life of his immediate family, and not how to advance the state or position of Nigerian people. So why should that? So
I understand your point, because you're talking about Nigeria suffering from coma, from this, from that we need good governance. That's where you're coming from. But I want to tell you that if you look around different regions in this country, we have these geopolitical zones. There's no doubt, no matter how you try to look at it, because we do things in this country based on zoning, based on quota. No matter how you discredit that, it has come to stay, and that is what we are witnessing on daily basis. And that's why you have a president, and then you have a running mate from north, from the president may come from south, things like that, to show balance, to show equity. But I'm saying, what is that type of politics we are playing here? Are we getting involved? Are we participating? Are we trying to show presence in whatever that is going on in this country? Look at military recruitment. We are told that Southeast cause nearly something not even tangible, substantial. They don't show interest. They don't want to get involved. They don't want to participate. That is one. And we go further beyond this. The Southwest, they are regrouping. They're positioning themselves for 2027. Majority of them, of course, from what I've seen and observed, they are going for one of their own, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And apart from that, and people are trying to exchange this hand across Niger. Are we doing that? Are we exchanging? Because for us, some people will tell you that unless a Southeasterner goes in there and becomes the president, of course, the rot in the Southeast will not be addressed. But you don't see it that way. You don't seem to see it that way. Look at rail project going on in the country. We are not connected. Of course, we've been told that the president has plans to get us connected. There are things other people are enjoying in this country we are not seeing. Look at the ports in the Southeast. None is developed. Even the dry port, even the ones in the South. Look at the projects going on in Lagos. What are we saying? So what kind of politics are we playing? You've not answered me that question, but you are talking about hunger, rot.
Let me, you see, what you are saying now confirms the point that I'm making. Telling about projects going on in Lagos, going on, what? You don't need to, if in a country that is properly run, that is run properly, you don't need to. The Nigerian resources are there for the development of Nigeria. You don't need an ethnic warlord to be able to. That is why we are saying things must change for people who that has the interest of Nigeria at heart. That will do things without fear, without fear or favor. You don't need to vote for Bola Tinubu for you to attract development, for you to get development, but this part of Nigeria. Why should you do so? Then that is kind of sentiment that we are saying that is wrong. That is wrong-headed. You see, when we propagate wrong ideas, we think we're trying to confuse the uninformed. You don't need to. The Southwest is supporting Tinubu. Who says so? There are a lot of Southwesterners who are not supporting Tinubu.
I say majority.
No. Until even if this majority, if something is going wrong, we don't need.
Why are you supporting P2B?
Oh my God!
Why are you supporting? Are you not supporting because he's from Southeast?
Good question. I'm not supporting P2B because P2B is from Southeast. That will never happen.
So you're not supporting because he's from Southeast?
That will never. I'm supporting P2B. Placing P2B side by side with Tinubu there's no way you can compare Peter Obi with Tinubu.
Are you gonna compare both of them? Why they were governors?
Allow me.
That's the only way we can compare. I'm allowing you.
You're not allowing me.
Okay.
Peter Obi has shown himself, has proved himself to be a better presidential material than Bola Tinubu.
Where?
Because what you have just said.
Where?
No, what you have just hold on. What you have just said. What I just said actually is a confirmation of my point. You are saying that development in the southeast in Lagos, that in Lagos things are happening. In Lagos things are happening. It's not happening inside. Therefore, that is a testament to the fact that he's not playing Nigerian president. So if he cannot govern, if you cannot lift out of office that you swore, there's no democracy anywhere in the world. Democracy is about people's divergence of opinion. Because you did not vote for the government, but therefore you'll be deprived of your entire development. No, it's not done like that. Nowhere. No progressive nations moves on like that. And that is why we are saying that the right things must be done. You don't need to. It's about plurality. That's democracy. People will make their choices. That does not disentitle them from what they are entitled under the Constitution of Nigeria.
Let me ask you, Honorable Chibuenweso, if Obi becomes president and centers his developmental projects around Southeast and South, will you have a problem with that?
Wow, Obi will not even do that.
I said, would you have problem? I asked you a question.
I am answering.
If
hypothetically, I am not bound to respond.
You said he will not do that, but let's assume he goes on to that. Will you be happy with him?
What if I don't want to assume?
It's my question. You can assume that the heaven can even fall here.
If you ask a live question,
you don't want to take that question.
I will answer the question, but you don't want me to. I won't answer it the way you want to do it.
All right, answer it the way you want to.
I will not answer it in the manner you want me to answer it. I will answer it in the manner that I know of. First of all, Bill will not behave in that manner. Are you vouching for me? Allow me.
Are you
allow me now?
You can't tell us he cannot do this, he can do that. You are not him.
Hold on. I cannot be Peter Obi. I know Peter Obi. You know Peter Obi. Yes. He has been governor of Anambra State. Even while he was governor, even his people in Agolo. I think I happened to be where they were complaining that this man was governor. He has not done anything in our place. I don't know anything. Peter Obi said, look. He said he's the governor of the state, and he's bound to develop every area. He's not the governor of Agolo. Peter Obi said that to my hearing. So you see, and we all know as a fact. You see, I choose Peter Obi. Peter Obi has not done anything extraordinary for me as a person. We are friends.
He has done something extraordinary for you.
No, hold on.
He has done something extraordinary for you.
No, like what?
You want me to say it?
Just say it, please.
No, I cannot say it.
No, say it.
You know, we know some of these
things. If you know of any, say it, please. No, say it.
Remember when he was there, how did you get into Abuja? Why you were a member of Abuja? He was the leader of the party. Of course, he allowed you.
So, he
allowed you some positions.
So it was which position?
Of course, when you were going for the Onitsha 2, state constituency, yes. How did you get your ticket?
No, tell me how did I get my ticket? How?
He played a role. That's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make. He played a role.
He never played any role.
He didn't play any role.
No, he did not. Okay,
for your ticket,
show me the evidence he played. He never did. Just hold on. Let us not. Go on. He never did. Let's not speculate this. I know, and those people who should know, they know he didn't play any role. He never played any role.
Yeah, emergence as the secretary of the ADC. He played a role.
No, hold on.
He made you secretary.
We are not dealing with ADC.
Okay, we're not dealing with this. I'm just trying to tell you.
Let us move.
Personal role he has played.
No, he has not played. Because he said he played a role in my
he said he didn't play.
Accepted. You don't have any evidence of that, and it's not true. As a matter of fact, I don't want to. But what I'm saying, that I am following Peter because of it is clear. What is clear is clear because of his capacity, and he has demonstrated that before me and before all of us. Peter Obi is not the kind of person that will become president. We're talking about blah, blah. Peter Obi will live to his oath of office. In terms of giving every person.
So you will develop more. No, he said he's going to start from naught. That's what he said.
That's what I said.
No, that's not you. What he said, that of course he's going to make naught to be agricultural world. So what it means that he's going to start from naught.
How does that mean going to start from naught?
From what you have said, he always look from north.
From what we have said now.
He always look from north.
From what we have said now.
And leaving his people.
I'm coming. He doesn't have a people. Nigerians are his people. That is the problem with our country. That once
even Christ, even Christ was from somewhere.
If you are from somewhere and remain from where you are, don't seek public office. You don't use what is meant for the public to go. You don't use for the public resources to now take it to your own person. If you come from somewhere, you want to remain the champion of your place, go and vie for the PG of your place, or Rigo of your place, and nobody will disturb you from concentrating whatever you have, whatever you get in your place. But if you are seeking a public office, governor, president, and you take an office to do to all manner of persons, regardless of where they come from, and the president of Nigeria, not president of Ethiopia or president of our nature, you are duty bound by the constitution that all the territory of Nigeria should benefit, should have their due. Citizenship Nigeria is a democratic based on equality, and it's a democratic nation. That is what, and you have taken an oath of office. You see, because this oath are not taken before these local shrines, that we go and we do something against it. So I don't have anything against anybody becoming a champion of his people. But if you want to champion the cause of your people, immediately, please, you can seek for the office of PG. You can seek to become the ego of your community. In that case, nobody will fault you for concentrating your effort. But if you cannot use what is meant for the entire nation and go and dump your place, that is stealing, that is inappropriate, that is impropriety. Clearly, all over the world, our people are leaving this place to be paying all the money, to go to the UK, to go to the America, to go to South Africa, to go to you see, because their cousin or their person who those in authority in that place are from the state. No, because those people in that place are doing what they need to do, and the places are developing. Once you go there and you attain certain rights, you have free health care. They don't care where you come from. You have free if your children, they have free education. They don't care whether you migrated from anywhere. At times you come to say why you can even seek to become a leader like Femi Badnock, that's in the UK, leader of the Conservative Party. That is how nations are run. There's nothing wrong in being in localizing, but you cannot take the big office of a president and governor and localize it to the extent that is your people. Your people is the people of Nigeria. Your people is the people of the state that you are giving you money to govern them. And the resources that are placed in your hands are resources of Nigeria, not the resources of your Ajokuta or whatever community. That is how it should be. Therefore, that is why for Nigeria to make progress, because we cannot make, so long as we are in this union called Nigeria, no ethnic conclave can make progress without Nigeria. Nigeria is making progress. That is why we are rooting for P2B. And let me tell you, if P2B tomorrow, for Pacha, like you asked, now begins to deviate from these principles, which I doubt clearly, then our support is because we see he can do these things, not because of his person.
So if he deviates, you leave him?
Why wouldn't we? No, these are principles. If I support, because I think these are things that you said I know you're going to do the right thing, and you do the wrong thing. Like, am I following you because of that?
I remember when President Buhari said, "I am for everyone, I belong to nobody." He made a very statement during his old
that was what he meant, because
we saw what happened during the time in his office.
That is why, because he knew the position he was occupying, I belong to him. But eventually his actions subsequently belied those assertions so clearly that he was not following it. But he just made those assertions just to be correct in the eyes of Nigerian people. In short, when I heard that assertion, I said, okay, good. But his actions thereafter demonstrated the fact. Throughout the tenure of Buhari, it was clear to me from evidence abound that certain group of people from the north were allowed to do whatever they want in Nigeria. It was clear that the herdsmen, go to Benue State. There were attempts clearly to drive away the people of Benue State. The governor then, or Tom, was saying it clearly, and there was even an attempt on the governor's life. There were even the governor now made a law, said, look, those that should be what they call ranching And the federal government, what business has the federal government got in trying to suppress a law made by the state? They tried to suppress that law because they wanted to protect a certain people, you know, and nobody was prosecuted. So it was clear that what Buhari said was clearly deceptive. He never lived up to it, which was why most Nigerians today say that Buhari failed, and he failed as a president of Nigeria. Clearly, these are indices to show that.
Are you trying to say that he was the one that allowed the festering of killer herdsmen in Benue Plateau, what we're experiencing today, as if we never had that during the time of Jonathan?
Did you listen to during that? Did you listen to Tewa Danjuma during that period?
Of course, I did.
Okay, when he said, he told his people in Taraba State, look, defend yourself. That these things could not happen without that the authorities are aware. It's not I didn't say it. I don't have the capacity to say it because I don't have the intelligence to do that. Juma, should have. He said it, and many other people and many others like him. And why would people have so effrontery in a state governed by law, in a state governed in a nation state where the military, where the state have the military capacity? In a state where the state.
Let me ask you.
Then something is fundamentally wrong.
Let me ask you, because let's assume you are a candidate. If your candidate becomes the president, do you think he can solve the problem of insecurity in this country? Has he the mental stamina or the technicality? What has he? Has he been in the military? What can he do to solve the problem?
Let me tell you.
Do you think he can do anything?
I think he has the capacity.
What is that do you think he will do?
The capacity, first of all, will start from honesty of purpose. The capacity, if you are the commander-in-chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you are in charge of the armada of military capacity in the country.
So what happens to that?
No, hold on. What happens to that? That you are in charge.
You are in charge.
You have the Air Force. You have the Navy. You have the.
And you give orders. These things are not executed.
No, I don't know what I mean. Why?
You give orders, go on and flush out these people, bring these people, stop this, and these people will overrun you and tell you that it's a guerrilla warfare. They will keep giving you excuses.
Hold on. If the insurgents overrun your conventional army, then the state will cease to exist. It's no longer a sovereign state. If insurgents will overrun, so there is a lot of compromise. Somebody said on national television that they went to see some this insurgent somewhere in the bush. That the presidency, all those, they are aware where those people are. One Gumi said this. They are aware, and they know them they know them by name. Then they are aware that they are he went to see this, and in his company we are people from the day from, and they are aware. Gumi said it now. The government knows where they are. So if you know, then it means that there's no honesty of purpose. If you know where they are, you have the capacity, and they're not being whipped into line.
Don't you think it can easily be sabotaged because there could be conflict of interest?
They're not being whipped into line. It means there are some great levels of compromise in one way or the other. That was what Gumi was suggesting. And that is the situation. So, first of all, if I know if Peter Obi as president, we have the sincerity of purpose to deal with those issues. And I'm sure it's only when you have sincerity of purpose to deal with issues, then if there are other issues, lapses, then you can notice lapses.
Well, let me ask you. Of course, the Tinubu is also doing the same thing. We have seen the gangs, the explosion seems to have stopped, and we've seen most of the things he has done in that area. And so far, we've not heard much from Benue State, Plateau State, and remember, this thing has been there for a very long time. We've seen him changing military hierarchy, military leadership. He appointed Christopher Musa as the Minister of Defense, and we saw the role he played. Of course, but this thing seems to be hydra-header. There seems to be something humongous, something that had been there for a very long time. But you say that most important thing, sincerity of purpose. That will be the beginning, the beginning of solving this insurgency problem. Of course, we know very well that could be sabotage. Don't you think that could be sabotage?
You see, it's only when you are not doing the right thing talking about sabotage. You're not trying to propel sabotage to the national argument. I mean, you're not dealing with the issues whether we are doing the right thing. Then you are now inferring talking about sabotage. That is to my mind, is not how to go about it. You're not saying, you're not preferring excuses. Oh, because they're not succeeding the way they should, because there could be sabotage. And that is wrong-headed.
We've seen abuse
for me,
and other things. Military
skill. Don't forget that in a sovereign state like Nigeria, that, if the government is a leviathan, government has the capacity to deal with internal insurrection. No government. There's no way you can overwhelm the government of a state like Nigeria, except that unless there is lack of unity or lack of sincerity. Like I've pointed out, there are a lot of things to show that people have been the insurgents, the ones who are captured, have been reintegrated.
But we are talking about infiltration, some of these people have infiltrated within the ranks. So how do you deal with infiltration?
That's what I'm saying. You are dealing with infiltration. While infiltration. You are not dealing with the capacity of government to flush out infiltrators. The capacity of government to close. These are elements that they are not supported by any sovereign power. They are not supported by any enormous power like Nigerian state. Even if they have, the Nigerian state should be able to overwhelm them. That's why it's called. It's not even a war between Nigeria and another nation state. It's even an internal by few group of people, few terrorists. So if you cannot deal with the issue of the decisively, put 1, 2, 3, 10 people to trial, sentence them, deal with them decisively, like Gumi and Sparako suggested. We are not dealing with the issue with the seriousness, with the seriousness it deserves, with the sincerity it deserves. Something is wrong. That is the proposition of those who should know, and that is the proposition that I am. Of course, you are talking about it as a quick improvement. The other day, last week or 2 weeks ago, people were traveling to Lagos. I cannot go put my way on travel to Lagos for Lagos to Onitsha, and
so you can't travel by road.
We're laid. We were laid and people killed. That person that was killed is not entitled to his life. Has the chance protected him? Those people were taken to the bush. Probably some of them killed or extorted money. Are they not entitled to what they have, what they've earned?
But we have seen you.
Has Nigerian state the other day in Kwara State? It's happening on a daily basis.
But the point is,
don't tell me.
The point is, the current government has brought in U.S. military, their intelligence. We have seen them. They're in the country. And with the US, it seems not to be. So what will you say again?
This country,
the US is here.
This country,
the US troops are here.
In this country, US. So
the problem they cannot solve.
Hold on.
US troops cannot even solve this problem.
Are you not saying you have ceded Nigeria to US?
No, that's what we are saying.
That's what you said. You are not telling me.
But the troops, of course, there is a joint group attack force.
You are not telling me that the government has brought in the US and so on, therefore the US should be able.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that with their support, we have not seen much.
If with their support, and you have not seen much, that also goes to the capacity, to the input within our system. You have to manage our system for us. They can assist you, but they will not take over our system. So if with their support we are still unable to wriggle out of this, that even shows you that the decay is deeper. And Nigeria is a sovereign state. That's to extent to what the US can, what the US can do. So if with the support, as a matter of fact, if with the support of US, and we are still worrying this quagmire of terrorism, it shows that of course there are deeper things that meets the eye.
And let's leave that. Let's talk about the xenophobic attacks in South Africa. Of course, we've seen South Africans hitting Nigerians, hitting Kenyans, hitting Ghanaians, hitting them below the belt, going around burning and then showing some violent actions towards Nigerians. Xenophobia. That's the whole thing. And the government of South Africa is just trying to play to the gallery, asking foreign nationals to bear with them that are going to address the situation. But it's getting worse. Nigerians have died. Of course, we have got so many deaths. If you start to talk about when this issue started, sometime around 2007 or thereabouts, we've had several deaths. But Nigerians are mostly affected whenever there is xenophobic attack, xenophobic violence. And of course, I listened to Bianca Ojukwu, who is the Minister of Foreign Affairs. She said she had conversation with the South Africa counterpart, and both of them talked about this. Of course, Nigeria has provided plane or aircraft, telling Nigerians in South Africa, those who are willing to leave South Africa, to board the plane and be brought back to Nigeria. One, I want to ask you, Is that enough? Because Nigeria deployed aircraft to South Africa and announced to Nigerians in South Africa, those who are willing to come back home, please board these aircraft and come back home. Even South African Minister of Foreign Affairs was saying he hasn't come to that they are about to address this issue. Let me get a thought about this xenophobic incidents, xenophobic attacks. Africans are talking about this. It's not just Nigeria. We know our brothers are more in that very area. What's your take and what you think government could as well do?
Let me tell you. I am not impressed with what the South African authorities are saying. They are complicit, like I just said about Nigerian security issues. They are complicit. In international law, every national of every within the territory of a nation legally deserve the protection of the state. In the same manner, deserve the protection of the state. The South Africans are not doing this. South African authorities are playing the ostrich, pretending no. And while South Africans, hoodlums, certain characters are moving around the streets of South Africa, unleashing mayhem, killing, destroying the properties of people who are in South Africa. That is against international law. They should be dead. And I'm not aware that the police has resisted them. I'm not aware that so many people have been arrested and sent to jail for doing that. They don't have such right anywhere. You understand? So for anybody to be saying, no, this is not the first time it's been happening.
So is it more like the treatment we are giving to Boko Haram that South African government is giving to those who are going about with this xenophobic attack? Is it the same? Can we compare the two?
What has Boko Haram got to
Remember
do with
at a point,
what has Boko Haram got to do with it?
There was a time there was issue of farmers and herders clashes, which we saw at a point. President Buhari said they are your brothers, accommodate them. I've opened these channels.
What I'm dealing with Boko Haram issue is clearly
terrorism.
It's not clearly not to be mixed with clear issue of. They have the South African authorities. They have the responsibility to look after, to secure the safety of every national within the territory of South Africa, except those who are in South Africa illegally. Of course, they have the right to apprehend them, deport them, or send them to jail, according to the laws of South Africa, according to municipal laws of South Africa. But it is not done in international law that citizens of other nations who are lawfully within the territory of another country should be singled out for decimation, for xenophobic attack. That is unlawful. And what is the state of South Africa doing to put an end or to deal decisively with those perpetrators of this xenophobic attack?
But look at
nothing. All they are telling us
Okay.
is that you are looking into it. For the people who are losing their lives, who have lost their life, or lost properties, we are looking into it. People are going down. Properties are being lost. People are being made killed. Children are being harassed on a daily basis, being psychologically tormented. At times, most of them will never recover again. And telling me you are looking into it.
But then, look at the complaints of these xenophobic, promoters. They are saying that the foreign nationals, they are taking over their jobs, taking over their women, taking over everything.
They should address that to their government. Taking over. It is not. If you don't take loss into it, they're taking over. Are you saying these are South African companies or operations or going concerns? Yeah. And they advertise and take people who they think are competent to do the work. Are you not saying? Didn't they have method of employing people? So I say, so if
how would you feel if South Africans flood Nigeria and take over every job?
It's based on ECOWAS protocol at that time.
Of course, it was right. I understand you.
And that was so. There's a difference.
But Nigerians turned against Ghanaians and asked them to leave.
No. There's a difference. There was never a time Nigerians picked up cordials, to begin to kill Ghanaians. It never happened. Yes, there was Ghana must go. That was a government policy. And it was done between the government of Nigeria and Ghana because they flooded, and it was a policy of government. You are dealing with a situation, it is not a government policy. It is rather a matter on the street of South Africa where we are the other South Africans are taking laws into their hands. That's it's not their responsibility to destroy, to kill, to dehumanize, or to deport foreigners. There are government departments that are established to take those steps, and it is the duty of government of South Africa to protect everybody within the territory of South Africa.
So do you support this argument that Nigeria should revoke the license of MTN, DSTV, and some more companies here in Nigeria owned by South Africa? Do you support that argument?
That is no argument at all.
It's no argument.
I mean, how can you talk about? You are saying that what is happening with respect to the manner ordinary South Africans, with of course I've said that the government of South Africa is not doing anything. It's not even doing anything. It's not even. They're playing tricks with the West, because they have a responsibility on international law to protect every citizen, whatever they are. If you're a citizen of South Africa and you're here and some Nigerian comes to destroy your shop, the Nigerian should.
But look at the role many Africans played during the period of apartheid regime. They have forgotten all these things, and many of them ran to Nigeria, ran to different countries, and they were protected. But now they have got their freedom. Of course, I was looking in the street of Soweto, street of Pretoria. They look so neat. They look so.
I have visited South Africa. Okay. I've seen South Africa. I've been to South Africa.
And South Africa cannot be compared with Nigeria. It looks so, so good architecturally.
South Africa is Johannesburg. I've been to
Johannesburg.
Yes, I was in Boksburg.
Okay.
And it is a planned, decent environment. You understand what I mean? The planning, as beautiful as anywhere you can think of in the West. That is South Africa.
Yeah.
Particularly Joburg and some of these areas that we visited. But and the point is that people all over the world, once they are lawful immigrants, people can lawfully move from one point to the other.
Yeah.
So once you are lawfully in any land, you have some rights that must be protected. One of those rights is the right to life, rights to own property, rights to freedom of movement, right to freedom of association. These are rights that are guaranteed so long as you are lawfully on the land of anywhere in the world. And if for any reason you fall foul of the law should take care of you.
Okay.
If you need to be you'll be deported. If you need to go to jail, you go to jail. It is not in the hands of locals to begin to say these people that are taking up our dog, that are taking up our women. That is pedestrian. That is nonsensical. And therefore they must go. Therefore, it shows when you do that. It shows you don't have government. Government is not in the hands of hoodlums. You don't have a system. Government is tied to the international community. There are international laws that bind every government. These are the protocol. These are the standards.
If not for the fact that Lesotho shut down their borders, because Lesotho is inside South Africa, is one country that is inside South Africa. Is one of the, just like the way Vatican is inside Italy. Lesotho is inside South Africa, but because of this, they shut down their borders, and we know why that country is what it is, how they became who they are, and the other things that happened in the past. But Nigerians cannot even run to Lesotho, that is inside South Africa as a country, because they have shut down their borders because of these attacks, and of course they are very small country and they don't want any destruction or disturbance. But nevertheless, you've said what you said, but I asked you a question. Nigerian government that deployed aircraft to see if Nigerians can be repatriated. Do you see anything wrong with that?
You see that, of course, if they deploy aircraft to see, of course, those people who
are willing to,
you can't force people to,
willing to come. That's
that, it's a two-pronged issue. People, why do you have to flush South Africa in the first place? Yeah, because of the kind of system that we have. The people are not looking.
And many people are not even trying to come back.
In terms of
there is xenophobic attack, there is aircraft free of charge. Come back home. Some people are not even coming back.
If you were in South Africa,
you asking me when I will come back?
For example,
okay,
you are in South Africa. Yeah. Is it simply? Is it just come back? Somebody, they have families, they have, and probably they have some properties. Probably they'll just enter plane and come back.
You may come back for the meantime. By
that meantime, no, you may not come back. What will sustain you? You leave the means of sustenance. Life, freedom, the right to life, the capacity to have means of sustenance attached to the right to life. Somebody will leave his means of sustenance.
Which one would you choose? Being killed or just run home for one time?
No, you don't tell them to. You don't know the circumstances, so it's not right to say they must run home for the.
I know nobody's saying must, and we are talking about.
It depends.
Yeah, nobody's saying must.
If you're in South Africa and you are loafing about, you don't have reason to. Of course, you should come home. But if you're in South Africa, I've seen our people in South Africa well established, employers of labor.
Our people?
Yes, in South Africa. I've been there and I've seen them now. Employers of labor, they're doing so well. You know, so because of this, instead of you dealing with the issue, not saying national aircraft, come home. I mean, come home to come and do what, you know. Right. So the important seems to be dealt with at that high diplomatic level. Let the South African government do what they need to. Let the South Africa stop this forthwith. Let the Nigerian government impress on them that they need to protect the lives of everybody.
And if they fall, what can we do to South Africa?
What can we? That is where international law.
Quid pro quo or tete-a-tete.
Allow me. International law. It is connected on principle of reciprocity.
Reciprocity.
Now, South Africans, how many South Africans are in Nigeria? You want to say now reciprocity means that you must have also a whole capacity to do what South Africans what they are doing.
So many of them are not in Nigeria.
So how many South Africans are in Nigeria? That they want to say, okay, assuming that the way they are saying go, you cannot say South Africans go. How many South Africans are in Nigeria? So that you can be able to reciprocate. Responsibility and do the same thing to South Africa, not by killing them, but by government policy to say, look, leave our country. In the same way, our people are being asked to leave their country. We can't do that. We don't have the capacity to equalize on this point.
Okay.
Because how many South Africans are in Nigeria? But Nigerians are in South Africa in their thousands, not millions.
You understand what I mean? In their millions.
So these are. If not in diamond, so these are when you go to get to South Africa, you will not even look for Nigerians.
Even when Nigerians are taking titles, being SND,
in South Africa.
Remember that incident?
So these are the things. For you to begin to talk about SND but South Africa, it means that you'll be so entrenched in the system that, and of course, why should you even go to a foreign land? Didn't talk about SND but in a foreign land. These are things. So our people should also to understand they have to conduct themselves in a manner not to provoke or to irritate their host.
All right, let's really take a break. When we come back, we are going to open the phone lines for you to make your contribution. Remember, this is Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM. We've been speaking with Honorable Barrister Chioma Ejumaro. Of course, he has beared his mind on some many topical issues regarding to the quest for Hope Uzodimma to be the Senate President, and the issue of insecurity, the administration, the issue of Southeast politics, and the politics equation. Where we, of course, he said what matters most is good governance. Let's quickly go for a quick break. When we come back, we are going to open the phone lines and allow you to come in and make a submission. Remember, you can go straight to our social media handles. Go to our Facebook and make a comment. I've seen some comments here. Of course, we're going to take these comments when the time comes, and we're also seeing some comments on our YouTube. You can go on and make a comment. Remember, you can watch this program live on Facebook. All you need to do is to search for Udala FM and you'll be part of the program. Let's take a moment.
Udala Radio 104.7 FM.
Italy, Ghana,
Nebek Real Estate brings you opportunity that grow with you. Greenfield Estate, Oba, just 1 minute from Owerri Road. Kings Court Estate, Ibiza, opposite Admiralty University. Purity Garden and Classic Estate, Asaba, just 10 minutes from Asaba International Airport. Ikenga Luxury Estate, Ojoto, 7 minutes to Electrical Dealers Market, Obosi. Nebek. Invest today, gain tomorrow. Visit us at 25 Oka Road on Nisha, beside Mandela, or Asaba Office 21 and 22, Rain Oil Mall, 295 BBC Road, opposite Lion House, Asaba, or call us on 080-3265-7455 or 070-1607-8648, or visit us at www.nebekgroup.com.
When the stakes are high, the debates get hotter. When the issues demand clarity, we bring the fire. Welcome to Crossfire. Crossfire, where politics meets perspective, where issues are dissected, and where no topic is off limits. From the corridors of power to the pulse of the streets, we break down the politics, the controversies, and the decisions that shape our nation. Join Dr. Tony Olisanbeki as he puts guests on the hot seat, drilling them with the tough questions, demanding the hard truths, and leaving no room for half measures. Get ready for fearless conversations and uncompromising analysis. Crossfire, exclusive on Odala 104.7 FM Onitsha, every Saturday from 9 a.m.
Yeah, welcome back. It's to Crossfire on Odala 104.7 FM. Bring your calls in now. At this moment, of course, I've got some messages. Somebody was actually disagreeing with Honorable Chioma Ejumaro based on what he said about Mr. Peter B's time in Anambra State, saying that he concentrated most of his developmental stride in Anambra Central, where he's from, leaving behind somehow Anambra North senatorial district. Of course, he did try in Anambra South, but Anambra North was left completely underdeveloped. Of course, that's just his opinion, but he said you answered that later on. You're just trying to disagree. He sent it. I'll read it the way he puts it down here, saying that the chunk of his development was from Anambra Central, where he comes from, but Anambra North came last. He did so much in Anambra South as well, but Anambra North senatorial district was underdeveloped under him. But that's, by the way, you're gonna talk about that. You know,
That's not correct. That's not true.
That's what he said. Maybe you.
No, you said it, but I'm saying that is not true. Except because when we take stock of this, it's empirically not correct.
Okay.
To say, you see, these are empirical to subjects.
Okay.
To with which you can support these things as actions.
All right. Let's leave that. By the time you allow you to talk, probably you're gonna. I'll read it. Probably you'll make your own input. 0803-221-6973 or 0803-827-6694. Remember, you can go to our Facebook and drop a comment there. Let's quickly go straight to the phone lines. Good morning. You are welcome. It's good to have you. Good morning. You're welcome.
Hello.
Good morning.
Chief Doctor.
Are you there?
Network.
We can hear you. Are you still there?
You can hear me?
Of course, we can hear you. Please go on.
Hello.
Please go on. We can hear you.
Okay. Let me say my comments. Maybe you people are hearing me over there.
What's your name?
I'm speaking from Mpo. My name is John.
Okay.
Yeah. The thing I have to say is about P2B. If P2B entered there by 6 months, he will start the insurgency. And another program is just like I love your program, Tony Baker. It's not like I want to ask the guest speaker.
It's too much.
About politics of this.
Can you reduce my?
My mind there is this Abuja slogan in South Bukai, because they cannot join like people from the north or call people from the north to come to Abuja. Why? It seems Abuja is for Ojuku, something like that, to compensate. You see, to it. So, but if Abuja can join another party, either Labour or this, either to join, to form another party, they go extra mile in this eastern region or east, so-called east. But this kind of Abuja and some IPC, they cannot have that unity.
All right.
So
Thank
I
you
love
so
your
much.
station. I love the guest speaker over there. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning. Are you there?
Unethical and undiplomatic. I don't allow that. But then,
Remember, we've not been listening. Hold on.
That's the problem. If Nigeria is a war,
Are you there?
I'm not sure the rule of law and what it is.
Of course.
So get it and the South Africa. Can you laws, with African laws, inter-country relationship laws? Where are all these things coming up? Nigeria is there. Doing one thing or the other. Nigeria is nothing. That's the reason why all this happening to Nigeria.
Are you talking about? All right, because I wanted to ask you a question. Are you there? All right. We had earlier put his call on hold because we picked 2 calls at the same time. So when he started, many of us could not hear what he was actually saying. So when I removed that on hold, he never knew that he was on hold. He thought he was actually speaking. That was why we heard him the way we heard him. And I wanted to ask him question to let him rewind some of the things he said, but he could not get back. So let's go back to the phone lines because the calls were coming in torrents. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning, Right Honorable Chief.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning, Honorable Barrister.
Good morning, my brother.
Yes. Honorable Barrister, you have been a very distinguished speaker. But I want to ask you, I want you to clear us. There's something that makes me confused. This people of Kwankwaso, are they in alliance? Either have they agreed that Kwankwaso will be citing, or have they agreed that P2B will deputize Kwankwaso? My number one question. Secondly, I want to know, Honorable Barrister, in a case where P2B, our brother, wins the president, we are talking about Uzodimma being president of the nation. Will that be possible? Yes. Will that be possible that P2B will be the president of the country at the same time and Uzodimma becoming the Senate president? Or do they have another agenda that they are pursuing from making P2B the president? Then, in the midst of this xenophobia, it is what it should be. South Africa is a country of white people. It's a country, but white people invade it. And I have read the history of South Africa. They wanted to evacuate all the indigenous people of South Africa from that part of South Africa. Thank God for one of their presidents and started crying what they are doing in South Africa, the whites are doing in South Africa. And thank God for Nelson and Jim who stood up and then fight the whites. So that is the reason why South Africa is the best. In fact, in Africa, South Africa is the best country in Africa. Yes, and I stand to be corrected. So now that they see that in the other countries are in position, they started rising up. They have to rise up against the government, the individuals that are developing the country. I want to tell you, the Igbos and the Ghanaians that are there, Nigerians leave that country and the Ghanaians leave that country. That country will change, but it is not like it. Thank you and God bless.
All right, thank you so much. That's the submission. Good morning. You are welcome. It's good to have you. Make it brief.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Yeah, this Sunday calling from the
Sunday calling from Ekulobe. Please go on.
Yes. The against there says it will be standard as president. He will be a president of Nigeria, not a tribe. And he's going to counter insurgents within a short time. I want to ask, Obi and the Kwankwaso as proposed today, if I saw 2 of them in March, because Nigeria is one, Obi want to ally with the North to defeat the West. If finally he won the election, how will you handle the Northerners and their religion? Because it's a big problem in this nation. How will you handle the Northerners and that their religion? Secondly, anybody that is president, both governor, even when you was a governor, you know how you handle Abuja. We are in Anambra here. But you know how what he did in Abuja and what he did with his brother here. So nobody will tell me that moment you are a president. You are a president of the whole nation. That is my record. But anybody that goes there, know his people. So please, how will he handle the Northerners, the Northern leaders and their religion? That is the same factor in the
All right. Thank you so much. Remember that United States of America passed a kind of a proposed bill to make Kwankwaso, those who promoted Sharia, to see if they can be granted visa freeze and orders. Good morning. Oh, sorry about that. The calls are coming in a torrent. They are just watching from different angles.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning,
Good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning, the guest house.
Good morning.
I'm Victima. I'm calling from Boldest.
You're welcome. You're calling from Whatever. Please go on.
Thank you. I want to talk about the South African people.
Okay.
Let me tell you, this South African people that are saying that Nigerians are checking their women and checking their dogs. They are just lazy and wicked. Nigeria taking their dogs and the one was gone. That's because they don't want to work. I have friends and relatives in South Africa. They will tell you what these people are doing there. So I just don't need to warn these people, not putting aircraft to bring them back home. They should do the needful so that our people will be free and work there. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. That's your thoughts. Okay, we got that.
Yeah.
Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning, guest in the studio.
Good morning.
What's your name?
Calling from
Your name again?
Let me first of all address this message saying that the PTB is only worker in the south, or I mean the west, Anambra Central and the south. Honestly, the Anambra North. Remember that PTB was the person that controlled major role from Headbridge to Umunya. And the one that can get work from Oyago to PTB was the one that taking to Aguilera down to Omombala. So, and the Omomba is 1 and phase 2. To Yanakasum, to Mukempo, to Tazan, is on the north. PTB was the person that is controlled that place. Even this old road by express from that flyover to Port Junction is one construction. So nobody should say that PTB did not do anything in Anambra.
No, do not do anything. That he did much of his work at the north. So not that he did not do anything. Please go on. Understand the context.
Won this election because it seems like APC have decided to take everything that they are the one that is going to win the presidential election. Why am I saying that? If people move on, if there is another person will won the presidential election, how can they be making arrangements for Hope Uzodimma to become the president by now? Why the election has not been wrong, and even the proper election has not been talk more of Senate president and the presidential election. But they are now deciding what Hope Uzodimma is going to do, which means they are now making sure that no other person will win the presidential election. So that's what I want to ask you. Does it mean that they are now saying that nobody will win the election? Because I know that if you win the election, Hope Uzodimma will not become the president. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Remember the very quick reaction.
Let's respond to your last concern. You know, Hope Uzodimma and co, they're playing APC politics. The ambition we might realize if they eventually win the presidency. That's for it's not about Nigeria. They are playing their own party politics, assuming the Tinubu wins. Therefore, that APC has the majority, then Hope Uzodimma is now aspiring to be Senate president. That's what they are doing. It has nothing to do with the P2P and NDC challenge. If P2P wins the presidency of Nigeria and wins majority of the seats at the NDC of the National Assembly, of course, Hope Uzodimma's scope will be dashed. So that is it.
So there's nothing wrong with what they're doing.
There's nothing wrong. They are making permutations, assuming that their party wins and also secures majority of seats in the Senate. Therefore, I should put up myself, Hope Uzodimma, to run for the Senate presidency as a Southeasterner, assuming that Tinubu is from Southwest, Vice is from South, from North, Tinubu is from Southwest, Vice is from Northeast. Then probably somebody from the South issue also should be able to vie for the Senate president. That is calculation. But if in the likely event, what we are planning, in the likely event which is going to happen that P2P wins, Hope Uzodimma's hope will be dashed.
His hope will become hopeless.
His hope will now become extremely hopeless.
Well, he has asked Mrs. Chioma Ejumaro to resign, the deputy governor of Imo State. Of course, she has resigned from her position as the deputy governor. That was communicated by the Commissioner for Information, Chief Declan Emelumba. He confirmed the resignation. As at now, we've not seen the replacement. And some reports do say that the replacement will be the person who will hand over as the governor. That's the person he will hand over as governor if he wins.
And the person will be comfortable with to be the governor.
I don't know. The person will be comfortable to be the governor because you know very well that Chioma Ejumaro, she's a woman, and you will need somebody that will be strong to withstand all forces, and not just all forces, and also to be very loyal to him. It's gonna be 6 months interval. If his plan works, it's gonna be 6 months interval. And remember, he will be the governor. There's no law that prevents him from being governor.
Probably he want to bring in that person. The person will also contest as the governor. Maybe the person he intends to hand over as the governor. The person will be his candidate for the
next election. And
election.
the person may be in that position. But the question is, if that person is in that position and contest for governor, he won't go for another term. Based on the amendment of the constitution, last amendment.
You see, that becomes an issue.
That's what Ayeditiwa. Ayeditiwa is bad from contexting
so
again.
If Ayeditiwa, based on constitutional alteration.
Yeah, the latest alteration.
Constitutional alteration is bad.
It's bad.
Then, of course, the person who
just 6 months.
The person who Uzodimma wants to, it's not 6 months. If
you know what I'm saying,
if he completes Uzodimma's tenure,
that is 6 months, yeah,
and gets a first tenure for 4 years,
and that's all.
That would be enough for him.
That would be enough
than not getting anything at all. Don't you think? So
not getting anything at all.
What if he says no? I mean, wait, that 8 years, will even get to?
You may not even get 8 years.
So if the permutation, if the man says, okay, he's going to complete Uzodimma's tenure, in the event Uzodimma's aspiration works, 6 months, and he now gets a fresh tenure of 4 years. That's
so much.
The Nigeria works. That's good for him. Rather than not even.
But the thing is actually giving Ayeditiwa sleepless nights. Just he completed the tenure of the late governor, and then he has just got his own, and then he has gone to the first court. He says, "You are bad. You can't go again." Say he's going to appeal.
Let him. That is the problem we have. Service. If it's about service, why would anybody be bothered? You've gotten more than 4 years. Oluwarotime's tenure was remaining about a year plus. He concluded that and got a fresh tenure of 4 years. He's going to conclude that. Is that not enough for you to have served your people?
But then some people are saying it's also applicable to Jonathan. But when the law was amended, Jonathan issue had taken place.
Yes.
But yesterday was the hearing of Jonathan's eligibility. But Jonathan is contending that when the
law was amended, if Jonathan now wants to run, will he not be confronted with the law? With the law?
But then he said no law is progressive.
Jonathan is going to seek to contest in Nigeria of today.
Yes.
And there is an extant law.
Yeah.
That is going to be confronted with.
Of course, that's where they are incorporated.
Of course, assuming that Jonathan, it was at the time Jonathan initially wanted to seek re-election.
Yeah.
Jonathan, that now the facts of Jonathan we use that to confront the law as it is. If you do that, I don't think Jonathan will.
But then remember, they say that no law is retrogressive. No law
it is not retrogressive. It's law retrogressive when. In the eyes of the law, Jonathan had not done let's in the eyes of the law. No. Let's await, because if you look at it constitutionally, from my own perspective, the law says it can only at best maximum do a maximum of 8 years. 8 years. At best, 4 years. So if by any circumstantial permutation, you will be in a situation where if you're allowed to be governor or president, you would have done more than 8 years.
Jonathan would have done 9 years.
Is that constitutional?
That's another thing. I understand the angle you're coming from. Now you're coming from the angle of 8 years, not based on being bad. All right. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Yeah. Good morning.
You're welcome.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Chidi Chukuma joining you from.
You're welcome, Chidi Chukuma.
Yes, my regards to our guest in the studio.
Thank you very
much.
Thank you so much, Chidi. I appreciate you.
Yes, talking of Hope Uzodimma, showing interest to become a Senate President of Nigeria. Why are we wasting our time? And knowing fully well that the only person that will determine who becomes the Senate President is the President himself. And they're looking at the two characters here, Hope Uzodimma and the current president, that his men. We know that the president loves Hope Uzodimma, just as the other his predecessor anybody that work against the collective interest of the people, they always had interest on such person. Hope Uzodimma has been known for that. Politics of selfish interest, without any due regard to the need of his people.
But then somebody was telling me that Hope is doing amazing work in Imo State, infrastructure-wise.
It's okay with the gospel about you. It is only if he's no longer interested in him that Hope Uzodimma will be talking of becoming Senate President. If not, they are just wasting their time. If it is okay with him, or okay with Hope Uzodimma and so on, if we actually win the forthcoming election, he may not win. Then he has every right to look for somebody that he fancy. All this total gaga is just like, let me show interest that I am interested in it. Not that all this thing is just like a noise making, because only Mr. President determine who becomes the Senate President. Even the Senate themselves don't have much power over that anymore because of the type of politics we play. Then on the issue of Southeast politics, I don't know why people are just talking about the South. Is there any special thing about other regions of the world? When we gather ourselves for one political party as a people, then people will continue to criticize. Mostly our people who speak too much English, whether we are carrying our egg in one basket. Then if we divide ourselves, then they will come up with another criticism that the Igbos don't have the same mind. They don't have the same opinion. That they scatter everywhere. All these things, why are we relegating ourselves? And why are we fighting our own people? Why can't all of us, if it is aligning with the center, just as you always say, that that the people align with the center. Is it the type of politics that we don't, if you remember the former governor of Imo State, the type of alliance they have with the center, it's just that this is the need of my people. He remained totally loyal to Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe throughout his life. He never criticized or work against him or work against the region.
All right.
But to always to tell Mr. President, please, this is the need of my people. Contrary to Jim Wogodo, who like to wrestle one power with the center. That is the only difference in there. But now, everything about aligning with the center is to work against
all right, thank you so much.
People and to,
thank you.
To market your own man.
All right, thank you so much. Because of time, we have to let you go. You have to allow others to come in because we don't have time. We have Mazinwori Chukwadurumo Sinachi on Facebook. He says, "Good morning, my honorable speaker and our guests." Barrister Shibwe on the issue of insecurity. Country like Nigeria only needs straightforward and competent president to neutralize insurgency. Fast forwarding, Governor Hope Uzodimma is becoming Senate president. What is he going there to do? Is he not interested in the governorship tenure anymore? Of course, his tenure will come to an end very soon. You have to understand that. Okoye Angoleka says, "Good morning, my lovelies. I'm Angoleka watching you from Umuoji. You guys should keep up the good work." Okay, they have Sebastian Abigwe. Sebastian, he says, "Good morning, House." Right, Honorable Sebastian Abigwe texting from Ugwabobosi. It is really a crossfire section in the studio today as regard to the xenophobic attack in South Africa. Any person or group of persons advocating for Nigerians to come back home is just, for me, a misplaced priority because there is nothing different from what has been happening here and what is going on in South Africa. You said a lot of things, of course, we have to slide out. More Dominic, greetings from Ohamadike Nobi, watching from Japan. Thank you so much. Obi Beke, the smiling angel, great job. That's what she says. Oluchishima, greetings from me to you all. P2B is a Democrat according to what he said here. If he becomes the president of Nigeria, every part of Nigeria will know that they have a president that is not tribalistic, just as he did in Anambra when he was the governor Aglo has been his hometown, Aglo has been his hometown. They enjoyed him last time when he was about leaving FX. You have Gregory Tedos. Good morning, crew. I'm commenting from Asaba. Politics in Nigeria has been bastardized and balkanized. Only the likes of P2B with good intention, according to what he says there, what he said here, we managed to revive the country. It seems impossible, but God will help us to come out of this quagmire. Innocent Nwoke, good morning, my speaker and my guests in the house. I truly appreciate the guests for speaking nothing but the truth. I'm High Chief, reaching from Nkwele Zumnaka, a first-time writer. Thank you so much. We have other messages. We're going to take them in batches. So if you have not put on your message, go on and put on your message. And those who also, let me read that one I said you should also comment on. Very important. And that message was actually disagreeing with what you said about development. And somebody was actually saying that P2B introduced religious politics in Anambra State, bringing Catholics, Anglican, giving them their own quota system, that he introduced religious politics. But that's outside what we are talking about. Let me read the way the other person puts it here. Of course, he's from Ike Mesamo. He says, good morning. Please ask Honorable Barrister Chibo Enweso the equitable display of P2B when he was governor, to compare his infrastructural developments in Anambra Central, Aglu to be precise, and the ones in Anambra North Senatorial Zone, Anambra East and West and Ayamelum local government areas, and Anambra South Senatorial Zone, Ihiela, Orumba North, South and Newi local government areas to be precise. Is he trying not to know the excess of mutual zoning arrangements in Nigeria? Political space in all sectors. Of course, that's the way he puts it here. Okay, we've got so many questions. Those who say he brought religious politics, those who say that he was for Catholics, those who say he was also attending to Anglican last time, but that's just his personality. But our guest is talking about Nigerian governance. I want to take one or two calls so that just one more call so that you maybe wrap up the conversation. Good morning, you're welcome. Good morning. Are you there?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes, Ogalagidi.
It's good to have you.
And good morning, Dr. Chibu.
Good morning.
Yes, this is Henry from Onitsha GRA.
Quickly, Henry, we are completely out of time. I just have to speak.
I have a question.
Please go.
I just got news this morning that Atiku support movement are now, energizing, things with the obedient movement. Very clearly, they are now supporting P2B. So my question is, does that suggest that Atiku has completely, backed out of the 2027 presidential election in Nigeria?
All right. Okay. All right.
And then let me correct an question.
Quickly, because of time, we don't have time.
Yes. Some people are saying P2B didn't do well here. What he did in the central was quite, more than what he did in the north. In the north, I want to say it here: there is no way you will have an equitable distribution of the resources in any given political dispensation. It is not possible. It's naturally not impossible. Some people will have more, and others will have less. So you keep on rotating like that. They can never be equitable.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's quickly allow Honorable Chibo Enwezo to, because time with our calls coming, we can't take calls, but just you can reply or respond to some of these insinuations, remarks, suggestions. You've listened to so many of them, and let's have your final word as you're about to.
Okay, let me clearly. The last person talked about a critical movement.
Yeah.
You see, most of the things that you get from social media, of course, before you begin to, you have to verify them, to see that they are actually correct, and you have to hear from Atiku himself or from his spokespersons for you to make anything out of those sayings. Then people, P2B clearly from the evidence, P2B did a lot of work in Anambra North. P2B, I remember I was in Abuja. I remember it was when during P2B's impeachment period, when he was temporarily impeached out of power. It was Veji Etiaba that started some brooks in front of P2B's house. Veji Etiaba. P2B did not actually award the contract for the work to commence in a road in front, even in Agolo. It was later when Kuchi was about to leave office that he did some growth in Agolo. And I've heard him. I've been with him when he said, "Look, he told Agolo people, the governor and I'm not your PG, that every state, every part of the state should feel the impact of government as far as I am the governor in the state." So P2B did a lot of work. And one person cannot do everything. P2B is a human being. P2B is not a system. But all we are saying, as Nigeria stands now, Nigeria needs just like when something needs somebody that will bind, somebody that is actually detribalized, somebody that needs to conserve resources with which Nigeria will going to bounce back into economic recognition. That's what we're talking about.
All right.
P2B will not do everything. But as it stands now, in the era of profligacy, the era of wastages here and there, for P2B we know we not indulge in those profligate spending that we tend to bring Nigeria down to the economic doldrums. That is what the point we are making. It doesn't matter that P2B is from Anambra State. Then somebody talked about how we're going to manage the Muslims. I don't what does he mean by what he's going to manage the Muslims? This
issue of Sharia law.
What is he going to know? What are they going to manage? The constitution is clear that every people are right to practice their religion insofar as it doesn't interfere with other people's religion. If you interfere, the laws are there to take care of you. So all he's going to do is allow the law to enforce the laws of Nigeria. Once that is done, everybody will work within the ambit of the law. So it's not going to that you don't need to manage anybody.
The thing is, the laws are very clear on some of these issues, so that the issues,
like you said, like we normally say here, it is the issue of capacity to enforce the law, do the right.
By the time campaign start, we begin to ask proper questions, and we will see these things that the way they actually wriggle. There are a lot to come.
And it's important to make the point. Somebody was talking about Igbos. You see, there's no way any ethnic group will. Everybody, it's not possible, and it's even good. It's good. It's not even possible. It's good. There are people who will be in other places. It cannot. But what is important is that the majority of our people, of Nigerians. There's no way an Igbo man will become Nigerian president if he doesn't have supporters from the south, from the west. Of course, you know that the issue of 25 is also there constitutionally
spread.
So we must be able to reach out to every part of Nigeria. To be able to say.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Of course, the same thing the president is trying to reach out to every part of the country to see that he has the necessary spread and much more that he requires. Thank you so much, Honorable Chibo Enweze, for your time, and we appreciate you. We appreciate your time being here. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
All right, we also thank our listeners, those who sent in their comments, those who watched us live, and those who listen to us. We appreciate all of you. We have to leave it at this very point. We're going to converge again next week, Saturday on Crossfire. Remember, it can always be Crossfire. You have a wonderful weekend. My name is Tony Olisambeki. Bye.
Rush